distance and never looked back, and was basically, just falling, all the way through the evening. Then it hit tonight, RB1. And on RB1, we went down, 58.51 on RB1. Now we're trading 58.60. I think that the market, and I don't know if it's just me knowing, following the news or whatever, I think the market is trading as if there's news coming. And so far, I say that because the sell-off, if you notice, they're not staying at the lows very long. In other words, a market that's trending lower will stay near the lows, near the lows, near the lows. But the way this market's trading, all the way from today at noon to now, it comes down, stabilizes, spins, goes up, and then eventually goes lower. But if you look at tonight, even, okay, and you look at the chart, whether you look at a 30-minute chart or look at a 5-minute chart, it's got that little bounce in its step, or that pep in its step, which tells me I think there's going to be some news tonight, maybe while we're sleeping, maybe before we get up in the morning. And that's just the way it's trading to me. So I would not be short, because when I see a market like this, that's usually the tape's telling me maybe you want to, be a little cautious, is what I'm saying, okay? And like you said, if you stand back and look at what we've done during the month of May, it's perfectly reasonable to let a little steam off. I mean, we had a high of 59.93, within 4 or 5 days ago, right? Or 3 days ago. Monday was the high of the week, 59.93. But I just say to you, and we've been trading markets a long time, probably the best thing that DTI ever came up with was our seven key bars in the 24-hour market. For example, I just posted in my TNT room that the Bitcoin sector, which I believe is going to 125,000, if you look at it tonight, it looks like there's order flow across the board in that sector. And, IBIT and BITO and MSTU are moving higher, And so that's a sector I think that is trending higher, okay? Just to say that. So I hope I answered your question. I would not be short. I would be looking maybe for an option play or something like that later on, once I got some confirmation. You'd have to really, to turn the market around, you'd probably have to get above 59.30, the weekly open, about midpoint between the high and the low. That's to be conservative. What do you think, Chuck?
Yeah, I think the week open is probably your point. Now, aside from the news that's already out there, one of the things the market may be gearing up for, Tom, is the long weekend. We've seen that before as well.
Right. Exactly. You got people going to the sidelines. You got people, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot. I'm telling you, this market's tape is telling me don't be short. That's all I can tell you. Okay. And the tape being, folks, the way the tickers are trading. And explain that in a trending market, it comes down, stays down. This market's come down, and then it starts trying to figure out how to get back up. Hadn't done it yet, but that's what it's trying to figure it out. Good way to describe it. Okay. DEX, yes, there's an ETF. You can play both ways for higher yields or lower yields. And, TLT is a good market to play lower yields, but there's some other ways you can play that. Just go on the internet, you'll find some of those names. I'd be careful there also because I think that you're going to see a big bounce over in the bond market. Then Friday still is a warning day, even after today, Claire. It is. In other words, we could rally. Let me describe the situation. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It could. There could be news tonight, midnight, 1 o'clock. Let's think of some news that would make the market go up. Maybe the House passes the tax bill. Okay. Well, how high would they take it? They would take it up to and test that 59.93 area. If it didn't get through 59.93 March Thursday, then it would probably roll back over into Friday, and there's your warning day. That's the thing. Now, if it was strong enough to go higher than the 59.93 and follow through, we'll know that by a couple hours into Friday. Okay. John asked the 20-year or the auction today. It's always a concern, John, but at this stage of the game, I'm more of a buyer of bonds than seller. More of a buyer than seller. I wouldn't do anything to the short side until the tax legislation bill is handled. That's just me. And here's the problem. It could be down. You could be down another 100 points. And you say, well, hey, Tom, we went down another 100 points. But in a snap of a finger, that kind of news will melt us up. I mean, it's there. It's going to happen. And I like now if you're buying T-bills, Mark, I'd go out to January, February for short bonds. I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't go out yet and lock in rates. Not until we get some actual sign of the numbers. Now, one of the things that you might think about, what is everybody focused on? Okay. What is everybody focused on right now? Let's just think about some of the news that's in the headlines before I get started. They're focused on the bond sell-off, the fiscal fears, like we're going to run out of money tomorrow, Palantir got a big Army contract. Surprise inventory rise on crude oil, but you got a problem there because I think the Trump administration is meeting with Iran on Friday, correct? If that meeting doesn't go very well, then the fear that Israel is going to wipe out might have a little flare up there with Israel and Iran, okay? A lot of downgrades on some of the AI stocks. That doesn't mean a whole lot other than a day or two. And, that's the trending news, I would say, out there. Okay. Anyway, that's some thoughts. Great questions, though. I like the questions you asked and all that. I'll just tell you, I'm pretty much have shut everything down from a cash standpoint. I'm in pretty much cash. Maybe I got 10 or 15% out there. I own a couple things, not a lot of anything right now. Okay. I don't think, and let me just say this about gold. I don't think gold is done yet. It's not, it's to me, it's in a big corrective state right now. Gold is, okay? That's my feeling on gold. Let me ask the question before I get started. How many people enjoyed sort of the mini training centers I've done the last couple of weeks? I did one on a Friday. I did one this week on a Tuesday. How many people enjoyed that? I'm planning on, just from a scheduling standpoint, I'm going to do another one next Thursday. Another one next Thursday. It'll go from 11 to 2 next Thursday. I'll announce it tonight. Do that. And I want to remind people, I've got a demonstration flash meeting tomorrow at 8:30 on my sunrise signal. That is a powerful signal, and that's going to be 8:30 tomorrow and Friday, okay? And so put that on your schedule. Be looking for a notice. 8:30, we'll get started in the morning on the sunrise signal. I'll show you the power of having that signal, what to do with it. That's Thursday and Friday this week. I'll probably do a couple more next week, okay? If the schedule allows. Chuck, I heard you were going to throw a steak on the grill. You like ribeyes or you like fillets? What kind of steak do you cook on the grill?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I got sirloin in the freezer, but I might go out and pick up a fillet.
Fillet's your choice. Yeah. Yep. Hey, do you still go to that place that restaurant? What's the one downtown that you used to live there and hang out at?
You talking about Callahan's? When it was
Yeah.
next door, I was there all the time. It's a little bit further away now, Tom.
Oh, it is? Yeah. Callahan's, that's right. Okay. Is it still going strong?
I honestly have no idea. I haven't been down there in a while.
Hmm. One last thing. Remember our friend May used to work for Verizon? He still work for Verizon?
Which friend?
Frey. May, you know, his last name's May. You and Sean and May used to hang around together?
Yeah, John. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Adam says he's ready to go to Al's next Friday.
Yep, headed there Thursday, and we'll be back Sunday morning for our workshop
Wait, this Friday or next Friday?
next Friday.
Okay.
You going down next Friday, Adam?
Yeah, Sarah Beth's birthday.
Oh, okay. All righty. Well, let's get started. You know, I hope everybody's doing great. You know, this is, you know, I tell people this all the time. It's a work in process. Being a trader, you're always, you know, you go from up to down, and we've just finished an extraordinary month. And if you look at some of the positions we've closed out, it's been really, you know, I've sort of pulled back going into the end of May. But I'll have some target stuff. But generally speaking, I want to be light on my feet until I get into June, and June's right around the corner. And you know, I go through that process every month, the first 3 days to set up the month. You know, if you think about it, stand back and look at it, that's a pretty good process to keep you, you know, ahead of the game. You know, and having the tools to do that is always important. I know that I would say the watchword is be very selective on trading as we do the next few days. There'll be some opportunities. Might be some opportunities if you're up late tonight. Who knows? I know I'll be up early now. Okay, I'll be up early. I'm gonna try to get to bed at a decent hour where I can get up early and see if they shake, rattle, and roll like the tape's telling me they're going to do. Never know. Never know. But anyway, you know that the TNT room is a 24-hour room. And if you're going to hear from me, you'll hear from me in it. And Chuck, thanks a lot. I meant to tell you, you really have made the quality of the TNT room what it is today with the posts that you put in there and analysis. I love it. And it really is a great information center, as well as some opportunities that pop up almost every day in there. Yeah. I love if I need numbers, I was looking at numbers to find out how we got here. And it's all there. Everything's there. You don't have to go look for a bunch of stuff. You can go right in the TNT room and look at those reference bars, and then some of the comments. You were mentioning the daily rundown you put in there every day. What a powerful one-pager, powerful one-pager. So I want to remind people that are not part of our new weekly newsletter. It's been a big hit. We're approaching about 350 members. But if you're a member of the weekly newsletter, make sure that you join our Telegram channel. That's where the information is going to come to you. Like this week, we had a special report on Home Depot. I'm going to do more of those as we go further, because sometimes in the heat of the battle, you got to look beyond the day or the next day. You got to look out there a little bit. I think Home Depot is setting up to make us some money. And so be sure to, if you are a member of the weekly trade letter, comes out on Monday afternoon. It's a great organized letter. And we posted the special report on Home Depot in there. And I will follow up with those at action points. That's the other reason I put the report out there, where you can have it, in the archives of that weekly trade letter. Okay. And that's right, Dave. And what I found, Home Depot this time of year has a pretty good seasonal track record. Okay. Anyway, just want to throw that out there for everybody. I'll be watching Home Depot. All right, let's get started. Thank you for coming. You can get in our Telegram channel. We're doing a lot of live streams in our YouTube channel. I think we found out it's real easy to record things there, and people can get it almost immediately when we finish. I don't know if we're recording tonight in there or not, but we should be probably, because it really is a good way to put information out to people on YouTube. Adam says, yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I like seeing it. It's in the TNT room. The Bitcoin trade information is in TNT. Pretty simple. I said, go long this. The pivot number, I'll do that before I get started, Oscar. It's a great question. Please clarify the pivot number. The pivot number I posted every morning around 5 o'clock a.m. in the morning. The early pivot number today was 59.30, okay? And I take it from the information I have from trading in RB1, RB2, and where the market's trading in the morning. That's where it comes from, Oscar. And it's a combination of that market to give everybody a fresh start to have a good pivot for the day. It's usually posted about 5 o'clock. I put it on TBUZ TV, and I use it. It's a great pivot number. Okay? That's the pivot number. And it's right in TNT, Oscar, right in TNT. Okay? Posted in there every day. Speaking of that, make sure you're in TBUZ TV because a lot of good information goes in there. So here's what I'm thinking. Tonight, I've been doing this a long time, and I have a program I don't talk much about, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit tonight. But I've got it set up. Anybody here that wants to join will be able to join. So let's get going. If you think about it, there's risk involved in trading. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Got a lot of new people tonight. Hello, new people. I'm a former Air Force officer. I'm an active trader. No one will question that, will they? Former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange, author of 3 books. I retired from futures trading, but I am now an educator, and I have a Futures First program if you want to find out information about it. I work with a lot of students over the years. Got 3 books, still viable today. Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. Boy, The Markets Never Sleep came in its own with this 24-hour stock trading. We got more to talk about that later, too. DGI will help you master the markets through education, training, and experience. In my opinion, if you look at the market right now, we're basically got a push going on in indexes. Europe's very strong. Gold is still strong. Crude is very weak. And bonds are a little weak, but not as weak as they've been this year. Okay? My 10 tickers this week. Very interesting this week. Really don't have anything right now to write on other than Dave made it and CRWV made it. How about that CRWV? How about that for an introduction debut here in DTI? We've already banked a whole bunch of profits on CRWV. I'm actually long the stock right now. It's at 107. It's too new to trade 24 hours, but I think we'll do another one of those trades pretty quick too, Mike. Yep, I'm thinking about it. XLE and SQQ, TQQ. Those are the numbers. Only 2 this week. We had 8 last week. For 12 years, been one of the unmatched way to follow the instincts in any market condition. The story of TBUZ All-Stars. I started years ago when I brought forth the idea, hey folks, who would like to have some trades sent to you? And it was TBUZ All-Stars, my first program, service program I had. Roaring success, still is. Has 3 main parts of it. Sunday night's planning session, which I've really opened up to a lot of people. My Tuesday trade where we connect the dots on Tuesday, and then the follow-up during the week when there's things happening. Generally speaking, we find sort of a trade of the week in there each week, and it's in TBUZ All-Stars. We do it at 10:45 on Tuesday, kicking off the trade day. Art set up 95%. Whoa. Let's talk about the art of trading. Stocks move around earnings, news, and rumors. Earnings are always happening. News is always happening, and rumors are being created as others are put to bed. Most of the time, there's a battle going on between the buyers and sellers, and who's winning that battle? March just made $1,376 on her CRWV. Way to go, March. I love seeing those success stories. I like to make the process simple. Now, this is one thing you got to learn. The reason I followed the S&P futures is because 75% of all stocks follow the direction of the S&P 500. That's why if I get the S&P's direction right, I'm pretty much going to make money on the favorites inside that index. Does everybody understand that concept? In other words, if S&P's going higher, 75% of all the stocks at 500 are moving up too. Does everybody understand that concept? That is the critical link that I look at when it comes to trading stock or stock options. Somebody taught me that many years ago. Boy, is that right. How does that play out? You got to have a plan. My plan's on Sunday night. You need a trigger. On Tuesday, I start using trigger numbers. I need risk control. I got to know where I'm wrong, and you got to have the proper tool. There's two main tools. You might figure this out yourself, but I'm going to tell you right now, there's two main tools to be successful in the market. Our roadmap software and MTI by DTI. If you use those two tools, like I was reading today when we had a little class, you're a lot more successful. And everybody likes success, right? So see fit to get part of those two tools. Why do I think TBUZ program is so beneficial to traders? Because it's got everything in it. It's got education. It's got how to find the right stocks that go up, how to avoid stocks that you don't want to have in your portfolio, how to use options. And it's got live trading as an integral part of every Tuesday. And the indicators in the roadmap are practiced on a weekly basis right there inside TBUZ All-Star. We achieve success by sticking to 5 guiding principles. Number 1, 75% of all stocks follow the S&P 500. 75%. That's the number 1 principle. Number 2, Monday's high, Monday's low. Write it down. That gives you a clue for the week. Monday's high, Monday's low. Make sure your strategy allows you to sleep at night. In other words, don't overload your boat. Trade within yourself. I say, and I did a great lesson this week on level trading. And the level trading talks about taking your bets and equalizing your bets that you make. You'll do a lot better if you do that. If the odds are not in your favor, you don't trade. I was real aggressive when the odds were in our favor. Did you notice how it was like drinking water out of a fire hose last week? Did y'all notice the difference? And now the odds are not in our favor. So I back away. So I will come back in and be aggressive when it's time to be aggressive. Now, if you're not making money, you got to evaluate why. Is it because you stayed in an option too long? My rule is 72 hours. Is it because you didn't have a process to pick what you were into? Is it because you didn't pay attention to what you did? Right? Delta, you ought to sign out, sign back in. We got so many people, it's probably crowding you on the server that you're on. But if you're not making money, get out of that position. Everybody says audio is fine. So sign out, sign back in. These principles help me develop and fine tune my crown jewel of trading services called TBUZ, the crown jewel of trading. 12 years going strong. My goal is to help you time the markets. That's what I do in TBUZ. I achieve this. I have 3 live sessions each week to make sure you understand and are comfortable with the trades we have in the service. Sunday night planning, I plan to do with options and stocks. I tell you where I'm looking at the market to be long, short, or out. I tell you what sectors are hot and getting hotter. And I talk about education for the week on Sunday night. Sunday night planning allows you to stay ahead of the market. Tuesday live trading, we review our stock targets, make trade management decisions, and we change course if there's world already news. Sometimes a Mack truck comes down and runs over, you got to change course. We recognize that. Take all the trades issued at Tuesday's live trading session. I tell people to listen and do that. People that do what I say there are always smiling when I run into them. That's the lesson. You know, sometimes life gets in the way, but I give you the core of those 10 trades on Sunday night. And then I work off that list, okay, as the week develops. I have flash meetings that you get invited to. Like tomorrow, my sunrise meeting, TBUZ will be invited. Take advantage of opportunities throughout the week. The training session next week, guess what? I said I'd do it on Thursday, 11 to 2. Allows you to adjust to market conditions throughout the week, give you extra help you need. Over the past 12 years, the TBUZ service has consistently been a student favorite. My goal is to get you involved with it and see how it works. Now's the time for you to become a TBUZ All-Star. The crown jewel of trading. I have high probability trades, no doubt about that one. Sunday night planning always gives you a seat at the table, and the weekly live trading on Tuesdays happen really sort of like whether it's raining or whether the sun's out, we're there on Tuesday. Let's get you involved. Here's the opportunity to join at the lowest price that's ever been offered at. Remember, this is limited to the first 50 people. I don't do it often, but here it comes. Take it up, get involved. Here's your chance to be part of the crown jewel of trade. $97 for the next 30 days. There it is, folks. That's the lowest. This service in year one was $4,500. Okay? Now, after all these years, I decided to bring new members in. You can come in, 50 of you can come in tonight at $97. You'll get special invites to certain flash meetings from time to time, and you will get the trades that will make this a scholarship number. Okay? Any questions about it? Let me answer some questions anybody has about it, but get involved. You got 30 days access for $97. It said, sign me up. Click that link, kids. Click that link up. Take 2 weeks, half the time. If you don't like it, hey, decide it's worth it or not. We'll give you your money back. There you go. Well, I have training. You get so much training when you get through that door of TBUZ, the crown jewel of trading. Tons of trading resources already available to you. Small accounts start out here. They don't stay here. If you learn what I've taught in TBUZ All-Stars and you're consistently there every Tuesday, okay, you'll be so happy. Trades that I do are trades that are appropriate for whatever I see on Tuesday. Let me go answer some questions in the chat, but there it is, folks, $97. It says sign him up. Dave says one of the best services. I would tell everybody to join now at this price. So, and did I mention you'd get an invite to my sunrise signal tomorrow if you join tonight? No, this is not TBUZ, Barbara. This is not TBUZ Talk and Trade. That is a 24-hour service room, okay? This is a service that I have 3 major trainings a week. This is a service. I live trade every Tuesday in there. Tuesday, which is trade day. You get a firsthand look at what I've seen, how to take advantage of things that showed up in my newsletter, all that. This is perfect. $97. Here's your chance. 50 of you can take it. Any other questions? That was a great question. Char, I don't know what level you need to be, but tell them you want to do options. Simple options. They started that level stuff the last few years, and I don't know why they did it that way. It confuses things. No, the nice thing about it, Jeremy, you're going to get to see me use the roadmap and MTI in here, and then you can decide if you want it. But I will show you the value of it inside TBUZ All Stars. Yeah, simple calls and puts is what we'll focus on. I think they've got a special annual price for you. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can do, Oscar, you do stocks or options. It's up to you. They all work.
Yeah, T-Buzz, there's a annual price. I think you are you at the last slide or did you? There might be some more slides.
No. If you grab your 30 days access today for 97, on the very next page, you offer opportunity to upgrade subscriptions for a year at a fraction of normal cost. So there is an annual price after you get in. I don't know what it is. That way you're in our system. You'll never leave once you stay for 14 days. I can tell you that right now. You take the lower price on that opportunity. Save hundreds of dollars. 30 days to test it. Do it. Sure, absolutely, Digital. You can do that. We're here to help, and we want you to do well. But if you get started, the very first service I ever had at this price, you really get to open it up and see how the process is on Tuesday. We always meet at 10:45 a.m. Eastern time. So be there. I remember the first time I offered this price, I only took 50 people at 4,500. I had a waiting list for 150 at the time for, people to drop out, or when I expanded. I didn't expand this service probably to 6 months when I first brought it for the first time 12 years ago. One of my guys, it used to be called TBUZ Trading or whatever, and he said, we did so well, we're all stars. So, okay, we'll call it TBUZ All Stars. One of the names that was suggested was Bean Shooter. I said, I ain't calling it Bean Shooter. The 30 days will start. Matter of fact, why don't we do this? If you sign up tonight, we'll start your 30 days June 1st, give you all next week as a bonus. How's that? Y'all like that? That more than fair to everybody? Let's just do that. Start June 1st for your 30-day access. But we'll get you in there for next week. Why not? Jim says, join now, get it paid for. He's a member. Buy dinner on TBUZ All Stars. There you go. Memorial Day dinner. I hear it. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Adam, I think it was a hit. Everybody's loving it. Good choice to bring it back. Thanks, Ed. All right, folks, remember, I'll be in TNT in the morning, TNT at 5 o'clock. Don't be too surprised if the stock ferry comes at midnight. That's funny, the stock ferry, right? Okay. Thank y'all. No, you got plenty of time to get in, but no hurry on the trades we do. Nobody's ever complained they couldn't get in. All right, team. Thanks, Mike. Another enroll. Be one of those first 50, though. They'll shut you down.